Hi, I'm Tim Treml here, Chief Lending Officer at the Bank of Luxemburg. Today I'm going to give you a few tips about buying a home, helping you try to get through the process, make you a little easier transition into that, and also building a home when you do decide to move and build your first home, some of the exciting things and things you need to be concerned about. When you've decided you're going to buy that house, I have a couple of tips here for you. The first one being, you really need to think about how long you're going to live in this house. In today's market, the homes are not appreciating in value like they did 10 years ago. So it's going to take a period of time. Buying a house, you have to have a commitment, probably a good 5 years, 3 to 5 years, that you're going to live in the area, live in that market, and it'll take you that time to get your money back and start gaining the value. The second tip would be, what kind of down payment do you have? You can get into a house with as little as 3% down, but then you're purchasing private mortgage insurance, and if you do have 20% down, then you're starting to build equity that much faster into your home and your new alternative. And the third biggest tip I would have would be to, especially if this is your first house, would be to buy or hire a qualified home inspector to walk through the house with you. He's going to look at things like the roof, the plumbing, the electrical, the water heater, the furnace, make sure they're all operable and good quality, there's enough insulation in the house. Because what's going to happen is you walk in the house and you're going to say, oh, it's everything we want. There's a fireplace, there's windows, the windows are nice, there's nice treatments. You're going to fall in love with the way it's decorated, and the building inspector is going to make sure that it's a quality built home for you, and you aren't walking into a money pit and purchasing a money pit going forward. I first talked about if you're going to be buying a house. Now if you're going to be building a house, because some of us have done that and transitioned from a first house to now building the dream home. And there's a few tips I have for you there. First of all, again, work with a good quality lender, one of the loan officers here at the Bank of Luxemburg, but also make sure that you're getting quotes from a couple of different builders that you know and have good reputations. Sit down and talk to them. Don't fall in love with the first home plan, first set of blueprints you see, because there's always tweaks and changes. Make sure you sleep on these, you think about those things. Make sure you know the zoning or any covenants on the area where your subdivisions, where you're building. Does it have to be a 2-story? Does it have to be so many square footage? The other piece is your home construction loan is different than your home mortgage. You're going to pay interest only on it for a 6-month period of time based upon how much money you have drawn out in advance. So in the beginning, it's not costing you very much because you haven't paid very many of the bills, but at the end it'll be very close to what your mortgage amount will be, because for the first few years of any mortgage you pay the interest you need to do. And then at the end, it's important that you convert it to a 30 or 15, 20-year fixed rate loan as soon as possible, taking advantage of what are historically low interest rates now. And another tip I would have would be to try to avoid the adjustable rate market. Get yourself into a fixed rate so you know that for the next 30 years your mortgage payment's going to be this. And these are all things that the loan officers here, the mortgage loan officers here at the Bank of Luxemburg can work through with you and talk to you. So the last tip, either way, if you're going to be buying a house or building a house, would be to sit down with the mortgage loan officer almost ahead of time. Get yourself pre-qualified, pre-approved. You know how much of a house you can afford to buy or build, and know what those payments are going to be for a while going forward. And maybe even for a while you put that monthly payment into a savings account so you know what it's like to live with that. So that's just some of the few friendly down-home tips that we have to offer here at the Bank of Luxemburg. And again, stop in, see any of our mortgage loan officers, and they'll be glad to work with you and walk you through this process.